Happy New Year. Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the forecast for each life path number for 2025. Now, I will be doing a quick take for the year ahead for 2025, what it entails as far as the global cycle, the universal cycle that we'll be working with. I'll be putting that out as it gets closer to, as we get closer to 2025. So have a listen to that if you're interested to know more about, again, the overall energy of 2025 and how to best work with it more on a mundane level. This video is, again, focused on what you can expect for your personal life path number. Now, please note, your personal year, which is derived from your own personal numerology, can be very different, and it takes priority over this reading for your life path. The personal year will be most dominant. And then, of course, this energy you'll be feeling, but it won't be as dominant as the personal year. So if you're interested in finding out what your personal year is, what that forecast entails, and for a specialized reading dedicated to your own personal numerology, then I suggest having, obviously, a reading. And my information is in the description box below. If you would like to work with me, I would love to take a look. And of course, this is a general forecast, so keep that in mind as well. All right, let's go ahead and take a look to see what we've got cooking in 2025. Life path number 6, you all are going to be working with the vibration of the 15-6 for 2025. So essentially, you're working with your own energy of the 6, but you also have this influencing energy of the 15. So this 15 brings in some interesting energy. It can bring in, it's sort of like the devil energy in tarot. So there's like this sense of indecision, some kind of bondage, something that's keeping you potentially stuck, that you could have some pretty big breakaway moments this year, some aha moments that really help you to step out of that self-imposed prison that you may have put yourself in, whether it's through, your aspects of your career, relationships, belief systems, all of that is up for reevaluation this year. And anything that's kind of keeping you stuck will likely be the pressure point, right? The points of contention, the points of confrontation that show up this year to help you to see that there's a better way, and to break free from, again, those chains that you think are binding you but aren't actually binding you. If you look at if you've ever seen the devil card in tarot, has how it was originally depicted. There's two people standing there with chains, but the chains are like, they could easily slip out of them, right? So it's kind of like the chains are that known comfort zone, which they complain about, but are afraid to be released from. And so there could be some areas of your life where there needs to be that change, there needs to be that revision or a different approach, but there's that fear of the unknown, or fear of failure, or fear of being alone, or you name it, whatever comes in for you, that is holding you back and keeping you restricted. And this year, that's bubbling to the surface to be looked at. Discernment is going to be really important this year. So discerning between like what's right for you, what's not right for you, what fills you up, what depletes you, who supports you, who's trying to tear you down. There's a lot of sort of opportunities this year for that self-reflection and to be discerning in how you invest your time, who you say yes to, who you connect with, where you invest your energy. Also, this year is asking you to infuse more laughter, more joy into your life. And a lot of times we have to create that joy, right? A lot of times it's not just handed over. Like we have to create that. And we have to know what brings us joy. And that's part of the process of that exploration to figure that out. And then once we figure out what brings us joy, what lights us up, what truly makes us happy, then it's our job to continue to move in that direction. And with the laughter, there is this sense of, because there is a lot that could likely come up this year that's trying to show you where it is that you're keeping yourself stuck, you're tripping yourself up, and you don't need to be. And so, when we move through that difficult process of seeing that and then figuring out how to move beyond it, the thing that will make this more comfortable is laughter, right? To laugh in the face of adversity, to laugh in the face of challenges, and to be able to laugh at ourselves, right? To laugh, when we make a mistake, because it's not the end of the world. And that laughter, that joy sort of brings the levity to potentially a serious situation, but it helps us to connect back with our true self, right? Our higher consciousness, our higher self, through that joy, through that laughter, even when, things are difficult. There can be an opportunity this year. It's not a heavy energy that you're moving through this year. It's more of a recognizing where those chains are and how to release yourself from them, right? So it can be a very freeing year if you allow it to be. But it's going to require you to put in the effort to remove those chains, right? So it might mean that you have to leave a relationship, leave a job, start fresh somewhere, try something new, try something different, go outside your comfort zone, etc. There's a lot that could come up. There could be a lot that is required of you this year. But through that process, you're actually creating a better life for yourself. You're creating a better experience. And so you could see opportunities for great progress to be made at this time that can come through those radical changes that might be needed in your lifestyle now that allow for that greater personal expression, for breaking free in some way. So anytime that you can work through the irrational fear, and a lot of times those chains are the irrational fears, anytime you can work through those and move through those, you break free from them, right? And they no longer hold you back. Anytime you can break free from those old belief systems that are holding you back, you free yourself, right? You gain that freedom to be more outspoken, to stand up for yourself, to not chain yourself to people, places, or things that force you into a limited life of servitude. So really this year is helping you to break free from those resentments, the feeling of being taken advantage of, the feeling of being taken for granted. All of these things can kind of come up, and they're all going to lead you back to you, which is saying, again, it takes your effort to remove those barriers, those chains. And part of that is going to be, again, you standing up for yourself, you taking action in a way that you set the standard for what you will accept from others, and for yourself. Definitely, again, be careful about chaining yourself to people, to places, to things that keep you stuck. And this year could be about releasing those people, those places, those things that are keeping you stuck until they're able to show up in a way that is more harmonious and beneficial for all involved. And you might need to look also at how you're showing up to those relationships, and how you're also showing up to the relationship with yourself, all of these things, because ultimately you're the only one that can remove the chains, right? Like you're the only one that can remove that self-imposed prison. And it's not about necessarily looking at what others are doing to you, but what are you allowing others to do to you? Like, what are you accepting? And so you could see some big changes. Like, you might really, find your voice this year in a way that feels really, really good. And I would say this is going to be a year too that you'll need to continue to look beneath the surface. Continue to look or break through those illusions in order to see the truth of a situation, because it's very likely that what you're seeing is not the truth, is not the full story. And so try not to make decisions or take action from the breadcrumbs of truth that you might have. Dig deeper, right? Ask questions, explore, investigate a little bit more, and get to the truth of something. Have the conversations. And if someone's not willing to do that, then it might be time to move on from that situation. Because this is definitely about not only removing those chains that bind you, but also stepping more fully into those relationships that offer reciprocity, that offer that equal exchange of energy. And if you're not getting that, then this is going to be a year where you might have to make some decisions using that discernment. You could see some lessons here in conditional love, right? That love that says, I love you if, I love you when you do this for me, when you show up in this way. And not only other people's unconditional love for you, other people's conditional love for you, but your conditional love for others. So this could be a reflective year where the mirror is being put up to you to see where it is that you have unnecessary expectations of others. Where is it that you have conditional love for others, where you only show that love or offer that love or open to that love when your conditions are met. And those conditions, those expectations are also those chains. So there could be a lot here that's pushing you more to your own vibration, which is the vibration of the 6, of unconditional love, right? Not of sacrifice, but of unconditional love. I love you no matter what, but I can still have my standards, So a lot here. This is a big year, and of course it's a big year because you're working with your own energy. And anytime we work with our own energy, it's an opportunity to learn something about ourselves that we might have been missing, that once we learn it or understand it or have that clarity, we can step deeper into our life path number and do something beautiful with it. So big year, big year. And, again, don't take life so seriously. That's another thing that this energy tries to remind us of. There are serious moments in life, but we can also bring the levity to make them more manageable, to make them more comfortable as we move through them, right? Not bypassing them, but moving through them. We don't have to be dismal all the time. We don't have to be, in a state of fear or in a state of panic or anxiety. Life can be very difficult, but we can also find the joy. We can experience both polarities. We can experience the joy with the sadness. And really this energy reminds us of that. So beautiful, powerful energy this year for you all 6s. A lot can be, there can be a lot that you kind of take away towards the end of the year. Remember, it's progressive, right? This is from January to December, so it's a long cycle. So it's not going to happen overnight. But this journey that you're about to embark on can really open you up to so much freedom, so much lightness, so much more feeling good in your own skin, and feeling good being that nurturer, being that one who, is a giver, who wants to give and wants to share, but doesn't want to be taken advantage of. So this is about finding that balance, that, finding a way to be that beautiful nurturer without setting yourself up for failure. And while not having to build those walls that aren't necessary, that are actually keeping you from moving forward. Now, for your animal wisdom message, you guys got deer energy. This is beautiful energy as well. With deer, we usually think of deer as these very gentle creatures, and they are, right? There's a silence, there's a stillness, there's a gentleness to them. They're very, 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 very aware, right? Very observant, very present, and very peaceful. But they can also stand up for themselves, right? They can also assert themselves. They can also defend themselves. They will not be taken advantage of, if they can help it. If you've ever seen any, videos of deer out there where they were in attack mode, right? I mean, they were going to defend their young or defend their herd or defend, themselves. They're not doormats. So it is a beautiful energy and a beautiful balance between that sort of yin and yang energy, that masculine and feminine energy, that really the devil energy is asking you of the 15, right? 15-6, that's asking you to find your balance, right? And to find your your equilibrium when it comes to that masculine energy of action and assertiveness and standing your ground and having standards and expressing that, your needs, etc., and looking out for yourself. And then the feminine energy of that stillness and that receptivity and that gentleness, right? And finding your balance between the two and merging those energies. So yeah, a really beautiful energy, sixes. Yeah. I think the keynote here is going to be helping you to see where it is that, you are keeping yourself stuck from moving forward in the direction you want to be moving, whether it's in relationships or career or your own, health, whatever it might be. There may be some things where you are the sole obstacle, right? You are the challenge. And so seeing where that is usually comes down to some kind of irrational fear or rational fear that needs to be worked through. And this year, I think, is going to give you an opportunity to do that. And in that process, you take up more space, you assert yourself more, you recognize your worthiness, et cetera, et cetera. And that doesn't only help you, but it helps your relationships as well. So I hope it's a great 2025. I think it'll be very transformative. So take care, sixes. Bye for now.